guys, welcome to the first part of this week's Coffee and Hero Show, taking you through the new graphic novels into the store this week. One or two quick things. First of all, this week's delivery is massively sort of undersent, for lack of a better term. Apparently what had happened is a container was late to Diamond in the UK, didn't get sorted in time, and therefore hasn't arrived to be sent out to all the stores. So this is not a problem unique to ourselves. This will affect every comic store in the UK. So there's loads of titles that will not be in the single issue releases this week that should be. Off the top of my head, Superman was supposed to be out, Justice League Unlimited was supposed to be out, Absolute Wonder Woman was supposed to be out, Ultimate Spider-Man, our numbers are massively sort of lowered, Uncanny X-Men, our numbers are lowered, etc, etc, etc. But I'll go through it more in the single issue video, certainly. In terms of graphic novels in this week, it's sort of a combination. It's the usual sort of top up of some older titles, it's all new releases, it's topping up the compacts, which you'll see at the front there, and then it's obviously us getting in plenty of stock for the signing in 2.5 weeks. Garth Ennis and Mike Perkins in store, which we're very, very much looking forward to. So we'll just get things started. So Savage Sword of Conan, we have the trade paperback collection out this week. We did receive titles before of this, but this is the alternative cover for it, which was the original cover for the single issue releases. Next up, we have Tales from the Crypt, the EC Archives, forward by Bruce Campbell, no less. So Dark Horse are basically starting to reprint the older Tales from the Crypt books. So coming in a lovely soft cover there. Next up, we have Batman The First Night. This is one of our favourite books of last year from Dan Jurgens and art by Mike Perkins. So obviously we're getting plenty of these in time for the signing. But an absolutely wonderful Batman story set back on the brink of World War II, back when Batman was first created. Highly, highly recommended. As I say, we've been getting the compacts back in stock. So the usual spiel on these is DC reprinting some of their greatest ever comics in graphic novel form in these compact smaller editions at a brilliant £9 price point. So back in stock is All-Star Superman, Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Sirens, Batman The Court of Owls complete, Batman Hush, and American Vampire Book 1. So again, we're always going to do our best to make sure we have plenty of these in stock. They go out of print every so often, but they seem to be regurgitating and getting them back into print nice and quickly. Into the box here, so we have Weird Love, Unlucky, In Love, and More. So I showed off some of these last week with a different Weird Love title. We were owed these ones. So again, this is just about bringing some of those sort of older, weirder, almost EC comic type vibes back, and again being printed by IDW. Next up, we have Vicious Underground, which is described as a grittier version of Kafka or Anthony Burgess. When there is no longer any reliable source of news, there is nothing to trust, and the terror descends. Terrifying vision of impending oppression and revolution continues in this original graphic novel, collecting the 3-part Underground from Dark Horse Presents, plus over 100 pages of new content. Next up, again, a couple more top-ups, because it's just impossible to keep it in stock. Sound like a broken record on that, but Something is Killing the Children, so getting back in stock volume 6 and 8, so again making sure that we have all 8 volumes on the shelves. A little bit of Ultimate Universe love as well, so getting back in stock Ultimate X-Men from Peach Momoko. This is a collection of the first 6 issues plus material from Ultimate Universe #1, and also the precursor event, which was Ultimate Invasion. So again, back in stock from Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch. Another couple of things going into the back catalogue, some volumes of The Runaways from Rainbow Rowell and Chris Anka, and Rainbow Rowell and Andre Ginole. So again, just topping up those back catalogue sections. Runaways is something we've never had an awful lot of stock in, but we do get asked for quite regularly. Another back stock one going into Dark Horse is Frank Miller's Sin City, Family Values. So again, continuing the great Frank Miller series. This was the 5th volume, going into the story regarding Dwight, who of course is so well known in the movie played by Clive Owen. Next up, The Biggest Bang, written by DJ Kirkbride, drawn by Vasilis Gogtzilis. The end of the beginning is here. Since the universe-destroying birth, Cosmos has saved countless planets and deposed an evil galactic tyrant. He even brought his love, the space warrior Wyan, back to life. It's that very act of heroism, though, that has diminished his powers just as they are needed the most. So complete mini series there, I believe, through IDW. Next up, we have Spider-Gwen, The Ghost Spider Haunted. So one of the most recent volumes of Spider-Gwen from Stephanie Phillips and art by Federica Manchin. So that is the first 5 issues plus material from Web of Spider-Man. Next up, we have The All-Nighter, Volume 3. This is a book that's been done by Chip Zdarsky and art by Jason Liu. It's their superhero book, which also contains vampires and other things that go bump in the night. Next up, we have Blowaway. This is from Zach Thompson and Nicola Iso. This was actually a really, really good mystery title. I read this in single issue form. When it said it was in the tradition of Fargo and Rear Window, it was right up my alley. But yeah, it's about a photographer basically out in the snow who has set up cameras and sees something, but did they see what they think they saw, etc., etc. Next up is one we had quite a few pre-orders for, which is the Doctor Doom Books of Doom. This is from Ed Brubaker and Pablo Raimondi. This was a 6-issue miniseries from the Black Steppes of Eastern Europe to the college campuses of New York City and finally to the throne of Latveria. This is the life of Von Doom. Next up, we have William of Newbury. This was a Dark Horse miniseries from Michael Avon Oeming. This is a tale fit for lovers of history and supernatural folklore of all ages. From the co-creator of the Eisner Award-winning best-selling Powers comes a brand new anthropomorphic supernatural series that's Hellboy meets Redwall. Next up, we have Green Lantern Wall Journal, The Builder. So this is from Phil Kennedy Johnson with art by Montos. This is the combination of issues 7 to 12 and the series epilogue from Green Lantern 15. So the second book of Green Lantern War Journal. Next up, we have Epic Collections, Star Wars from David Michelini and Bob Layton, among others. Barry Windsor Smith as well. This contains Iron Man 215 to 232 in the annual number 9 and covers the era of 1987 to 1988. DC's version of the Epic Collection, of course, is DC Finest, and this is Green Arrow, The Longbow Hunters. So this covers 1987 to 1988. Mike Grell, Ed Hannigan, Dick Giordano, all involved here. This has always been held up as one of the great Green Lantern stories, or Green Arrow stories, The Longbow Hunters. Next up, we have Winter World. So this is from Chuck Dixon, and I think art by Butch Guice. The apocalyptic tale of an Earth turned into an icy hell continues in these new stories that pick up where the original graphic novel left off. So a nice sort of omnibus or compendium-sized format for that. Next up, we have Batman Reptilian, which of course was a 6-issue miniseries written by Garth Ennis, art by Liam Sharp, which came out a couple of years ago. We've got in both the hardcovers and the soft covers, again with the signing in mind. We have Dick's Volume 1s. We got Volume 2s in recently. It was nice to get Volume 2 back in stock. Garth Ennis, of course, writing. John McCrae on art. We're topping up our Preacher section as well, making sure we've got plenty of copies of one of Garth Ennis' masterpieces. Arguably, for me, his best book. Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, 6 volumes. Fantastic storytelling. Also, The Boys, of course, has probably become one of his more famous known works. Again, getting loads of Volume 1s in, again with the signing in mind. This contains the first 14 issues altogether. As well as getting the trade paperbacks in, we've ordered the hardcover omnibus versions as well of The Boys. So we're ordered in Volume 1, 2, and 3 of those. We have Lois Lane, Enemy of the People. This was written by Greg Rucka, art by Mark Perkins, again with the signing in mind. This is awesome. This is literally Lois Lane as an investigative journalist. Written by Greg Rucka, 12-issue series. Highly, highly recommend that. Really, really good stuff. And then we finish off with a couple of volumes of Ram V and Mike Perkins' Swamp Thing. Again, obviously with the signing in mind, but again, some of the best Swamp Thing comics of recent times. So highly, highly recommended. It's 3 volumes in total for that. So yeah, that's everything into the store this week in terms of graphic novels. Again, we've ordered in tons and tons of the stuff for the signing. We'll be putting some of it out, in the weeks leading up, but we'll have plenty, of course, on the day as well. But that's it, guys. Thank you very much for spending 10 minutes with me, keeping you up to date with everything that has come into the store. Hope it proved useful as always, and I'll hopefully see you in the store throughout the week. Until then, take it easy.